We actually paused games for a reason. 9 years ago, when I moved my family here from Tokyo, where I was working, one of the biggest things I was looking forward to, because I grew up in Hawaii, was that my son and my kids could play community sports. AYSO, Little League. These are just two examples. Softball, which my daughter's playing in now. These are examples of some great community programs where the kids can go out, learn how to be better members of a team, better individuals, while learning how to play a sport. And the reason why I looked at Foster City in particular is because of the great offers that we had. Gary, for the last 15 years, embodies the idea of volunteerism and giving back to the community in a great way. He was our chief umpire and made sure we knew that the rules were being enforced and what they were. As I came up as a coach, he also helped me make sure I knew what the rules were. So he was somebody that I know that any of our coaches could go to and get advice at any time. For all of our players here, it is really important, and for all of the families here, for you to understand that Little League, AYSO, softball, we exist in volunteerism. And great examples that you're seeing today, the two individuals here, of which Gary is definitely one of the best examples, is of a volunteer giving to the community. Kids, you guys can play, you guys can enjoy, you guys can make friendships, and you can have these experiences because we have adult volunteers like Gary, who's given his time selflessly for over 15 years to the Foster City community at large and to Little League in particular. And for that, I thank you for allowing my family and my kids to have an environment where they can grow and they can be better people because of it. And I thank you for the time that you've taken away from your family. Even went on vacation texting people for results of certain games that were happening. I would really, really just like to thank you on behalf of Foster City Little League and on behalf of our extended community and all of our players for all of the time that you've given to the league. So thank you very much, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. I just have a few quick remarks. As you know, as Jennifer Liu mentioned, the Sports Wall of Fame is really dedicated to those folks here in Foster City who have given their time and energy to youth sports here. But one of the big differences for Gary, and one of the reasons that I wanted to at least say a few words, because it's not in the program or it hasn't been mentioned, but besides his time, energy, and money, Gary has really given his health to this community. After he got hit with a pitch, he was taken to the hospital, and it was really in pretty critical condition for a long time. His recovery was long, and fortunately he did recover. I think he's normal now. But anyway, that's why I just wanted to say a few words to really make sure all of you knew what contribution that Gary gave to this community. So with that, I want to thank Gary for letting me say a few words, and also congratulations to John and to Gary. Thank you.
So this is a microphone. I know there's lots of you out there that didn't want to hear this voice ever again saying anything other than safe or out, fair or foul, but sorry about that. And I want to start out by saying thank you for this opportunity. I had no idea this was going to happen. A lot of things have happened since a couple of years ago. I'll bring that up in a minute. But this was such a great experience. I remember, I think it was back in 2000, I saw in the paper that there was a tournament in Foster City at Sea Cloud. And even though I work here, where the hell's Sea Cloud? So I found it, and I came out here and watched a bunch of games. It was the regional tournament or something. Maybe it was the state tournament, I don't remember. There were teams I'd never heard of. And I liked what I saw, so I volunteered the next year to be an umpire. And I started off in AAA and stuff like that. Loved working with the little kids and stuff, all that kind of stuff. It was one of the best things I've ever done. And it was a lot of fun. And look what it led to. Holy cow. I never knew it was going to be this much. But I really appreciate it because all of you out there had a big part in this fair right here, because I learned a lot from each of you, and I tried to pass that knowledge along to some of the kids and some of the coaches, and even the other umpires. I know Steve, who just introduced me, and I worked a lot of games together, not only here, but in District 52 and various other places all around. I mean, by starting there, it was crazy, because I just came out and volunteered as many times as I could. Had the big balloon chest protector for the first couple of years, no real umpire clothing or anything like that. And then I remember in 2006, one of the board members came to me and offered me to go to Cooperstown with the Cooperstown team, because we're supposed to take with us an umpire. And I go, that sounds pretty cool. I know it's got to be near the Hall of Fame, which I had never been to, and it was great. I had such a great time there. We worked our butts off umpiring, and I finally made it to the Hall of Fame a couple of times. Wish I had more time to do that. But the Hall of Fame is nothing compared to the Wall of Fame. This is way more important. I mean, look at all the famous people up there now. And congratulations to the other guy that was introduced, that was just got off the speech here. It's great to have this kind of thing in front of us. And by going on the Wall of Fame, they asked me when I got back if I'd be the chief umpire. And I go, chief umpire? What is that? And soon I found out, and sure enough, from 2006 till 16, I was the chief umpire out here. And I worked a lot of the games. I really insisted on it. And I got most of the guys from around here, District 52, and other people like Dino, Milano, and all these kind of people to help us out here. It was great. We helped here and all over the district, and it made a big difference to everything. And it made a big difference in my life to have this much put back in my own life. And, being on the board of directors was also great, because we got to take care of a lot of things other than just umpiring. There's a lot of really great people that participated in that. And I think it was 2012, if I have my year right, 2012 was the first year that Foster City All-Stars won District 52, I think it was 2012, wasn't it? 2012? Yeah. And luckily for me, I got to umpire in the next level that they played, I believe, up at Hillsborough Little League. And that was one of the great experiences of my life, even though the team that beat them went to the next level and never made it to the state finals. But everything comes for a reason. And there's one thing I want to mention. On October 12th, 2016, I had an accident. By that I mean not in a car, not anything like that, but I fainted and passed out and knocked myself out on my office parking lot here in Foster City. And it seems like a long time ago, but it really wasn't. And because of the strength of my wife, Rose, who's standing right over there, my office manager, Angela Rizzo, and her husband, Jeff, standing right there, my associate, Jim De La Riva, they helped put things together as long as I was gone and saved things for me. And I'm back now. I would say full-time, but I don't know if I'm there full-time. They might have a different story. But if it wasn't for people like that and the strength of those people, and especially my wife, Rose, I mean, I could have never done this without it, because I was seriously out of commission. I don't remember a thing from the first month, and I started barely remembering after that. Now I can remember almost everything, so be careful what you say to me when I leave. But one of the things that I really enjoyed about umpiring here is watching when I was not working and umpiring, I'd watch as many games as I could here and all around. I got to umpire in every league in this district, but this is still the best one. And even at the next level, teenage leagues, high school, there was some college games I went to, some players, and I know we had one player that was in the professional league for a few years. I'm not sure if he still is, but he was a really good player here. He's one of the first guys I remember around here. but that's really, I mean, this whole thing has me flabbergasted that I'm elected to be on this thing. And I've looked at that board or this plaque thing, I don't know, hundreds of times. And I've been to many of these meetings when they used to be in September, when there was no Little League and no rain. But the rain cleared up just in time for us. And I want to say thank you again. I know everybody has a lot to do. I appreciate everybody showing up. It's almost like there's a full game. Look at all these people. This is crazy. And I don't think I have anything else to add except thanks again for coming out and thanks for the vote.
Players and teams, you're released to go back to your